According to Steam Spy, almost a third of the games played on Steam are free-to-play. It's understandable that some don't want to pay for a game if there is a much cheaper alternative. However, cheaper doesn't always mean better, and more often than not, free-to-play games can be quite disappointing, even if they are enjoying a temporary spike in popularity. Here's our list of what we believe are the 8 best free-to-play shooters based on the recent Steam Spy statistics and our personal preferences. When Skill released back in 2015, it was supposed to be a free realistic shooter. Despite the initial lukewarm reception, the game enjoys popularity and seems to have changed for the better, as it remains in the Steam's top 40 most popular games. What's interesting is the fact that, apart from some basic modes, the developers constantly change the available game modes, experiment and introduce new ways to play, like for example a zombie mode. One of the shooter's strengths is certainly its optimization. The game runs really smooth and on very low system requirements. Some users complain about occasional cheaters and so-called pay-to-win in the case of some weapons, but overall it's quite balanced and worth checking out if you're a fan of F2P shooters. Blockade 3D proves that there is still a fan base eagerly awaiting more Minecraft-inspired games. And this game is just that, a shooter with a lot of crafting and creating our own maps. Blockade includes typical modes like Deathmatch or Zombie, but spices things up with item creation and weapon upgrading, which we'll find a lot of in the game. Even though there have been similar hybrids like Ace of Spades or Block and Load, for some reason Blockade 3D still enjoys popularity. Minecraft fans will be right at home with this one, but despite some positive reviews, some people complain about hackers breaking the game. Crytek's Warface is a more classical approach to the FPS genre. We choose between 4 classes of a medic, engineer, sniper and rifleman, and utilize their skills accordingly. Apart from focusing on PvP modes, the game also features a cooperative mode with missions of an increasing difficulty level, and while the missions themselves aren't that hard, they are certainly enjoyable with a skilled enough partner. It is also worth pointing out that there is no paywall or a pay-to-win on a larger scale, as most of the game's weapons can be purchased after some grinding by the in-game currency. Recently, the state of the game has been worsening after it got bought off from Crytek by Micom, but it's still quite enjoyable. Robocraft is probably the most original game on our list because it's a third-person shooter that involves vehicles. Developed by a team of only 5 people, this game gives us a chance to build our own creations and greatly customize them before going into battle. Even though we have much freedom in creating our machine, certain parts like engines, tires, propellers or turrets are limited, so we have to not only be creative but strategize from the get-go. Recently, some fans have been complaining about the addition of packages that made the game a bit pay-to-win, but thanks to its popularity, there is a big chance you'll find someone to play nevertheless, as the creative aspect gives the game a decent amount of replayability. World War I and World War II periods have been recently gaining in popularity as a setting for a video game, after years of modern and futuristic settings being done over and over again. Just take a look at Battlefield or the upcoming Call of Duty World War II. Heroes and Generals seems to be a direct reaction to that state of the industry and is a perfect pick for a fan of a more realistic and historical shooting. Among many characters to choose from and vehicles like tanks and planes, the game offers a much less dynamic approach, known from, let's say, the previous Call of Duty, and prioritizes strategy and planning. The game's biggest strength is its complexity and realism, but it goes without saying that it's not a game for everyone, and those used to a more dynamic gameplay might find the experience off-putting. If you're not part of that group, however, and are a fan of a more strategy-oriented gameplay, this one is just for you. While Heroes and Generals is the best pick for a fan of historic warfare, our next pick on this list, Warframe, is something that fans of futuristic combat will instantly fall in love with. This free-to-play third-person action game has really good visuals combined with dynamic skirmishes, and some interesting lore for a free-to-play game. The gameplay focuses on instances, which we can complete on our own or with others. Next to that, we are giving a straightforward multiplayer with a vast selection of over 30 classes, some of which come equipped with melee weapons. Another interesting thing you'll come across in Warframe is the planet system, which offers a series of linked missions. We level up and acquire new gear mostly through grinding, but that doesn't stop Warframe from getting good reviews and being one of the most popular free-to-play games overall. Paladins draws heavily from the likes of Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch, and offers a vast cast of interesting characters we customize with decks of cards, making it the perfect alternative for those who want to enjoy this particular type of gameplay for free. After its release, the game got some bad press, and some even called it a straight-out rip-off of Overwatch. But taking into account that it was announced much earlier than the Blizzard shooter in question, that's hardly the case. Paladins aims to offer a certain type of team-based gameplay, and it's only natural that this game resembles Team Fortress or Overwatch. Apart from quick and dynamic matches, one of the game's biggest strengths is that it's designed in such a way that it doesn't favor the paid user too much, making it a similar experience for different types of gamers. Overall, Paladins is dynamic, fun and well balanced, making it probably one of the best free-to-play shooters in recent years. Team Fortress 2 still enjoys great popularity even after 11 years of being on the market. Valve's team-based shooter became so likable partially thanks to its unique, cartoonish characters that have appeared in countless videos, remixes or memes since. Additionally, the game's team-based formula involving 9 classes still remains highly addictive and enjoyable, and became the template other shooters take inspiration from, like, for example, Overwatch. And even though other titles over the years took cue from Team Fortress 2, it still reigns supreme. After the game switched to a free-to-play model, several fans have been complaining that the community has worsened and the game isn't what it used to be, but that hasn't stopped fans worldwide from enjoying this seemingly timeless shooter, and it's currently the most popular free-to-play game of its genre. That's it for today. We hope that you were able to find a free-to-play shooter that suits you perfectly. If not, let us know. Thanks for watching and keep it here at GamePressure for more videos.